Hey everyone, just wanted to show you what's going on. Got cows moved over on my neighbor's property this morning. I opened that up for them. And then I got the water set up, brought over and set up. I'm kind of limited on my watering resources right now. It's not the best setup by any means, but I can only do so much with the money that I have. So this is what I'm working with right now. Bring the tub out. It's split by this gate so they can get on either side. Automatic float valve, and I have, someone gave me that 3/4 inch gas line, and it actually takes the same fittings as a 3/4 black water line. It's free, so I utilized it. That runs all the way, you see past the truck. See the top of the hoop shelter there, that's where the bigger pigs were staying. On the other side of that's the hard pen. So that runs along this fence all the way down to that other fence line. And I just connect the hose from the, cabin to it. And I got to go pick up a couple new Ys because I misplaced the ones that I had. I'm not exactly sure where I put them. I had hoses stored here and there. But I'm going to put a Y at this end so I can run the cow's tank all the time and not have to unhook it. But on the other side of this fence line, right in here, that's a small field over in there that you guys seen in the seeding video, frost seeding video. This section right here, I am starting the fence for the piglets. The feeder piglets are going to be over here. It's a pretty good paddock. I think I'm going to split it into 2 or 3 sections. I'm starting that right now too. I got starting to string the wire out. But I want to be able to put the water, the big 80-gallon 2-sided water in there with them just over the fence line here. That's where it's going to be. Put another short hose on so I can just turn it on when I walk by and let it fill up. And I'm putting another Y at the very end. I'm thinking there's a splice in the middle. I'm thinking about getting a T and putting it in there with make a hose bib connection there too, because I'm hoping that I can run some of my pastured poultry tractors through this field where the truck was sitting, kind of give it a little bit more fertilizer. It's one of the flattest fields I've got, so yeah, I think I'm going to put a hose connection right there in the middle of that yellow line, so if I get out this way farther, I'm in between. I don't have to stretch a hose one way or the other for a long length. Be able to connect to that and fill up their waters on the back of their chicken tractors. So I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, just trying to get stuff, it's spring, trying to get everything going, get a good flow going. My chores have doubled now in time it takes me because I'm not just shoving hay in the feeder and forgetting about it. I've got to come out here, I've got to put fence up, I've got to move, I've got to plan ahead, check waters, I got to walk over the whole property, my neighbor's property, make sure, grass isn't getting too short, make sure everybody's healthy still, everybody's out and spread out across the property. So yeah, it just takes me longer to do chores. It's not a big deal. The milking the cows is the biggest thing I've got to figure out, if it's worth trying to separate the calves in the pasture, milking out in the pasture, if it's worth walking these cows down and milking them. Ladies, not such a big deal because the calf isn't going to be big enough to nurse all of her milk out for at least a month or 2. So I'm just going to keep milking her probably twice a day. I can milk, I'll just tie her to a tree or truck or whatever I've got out close by, and I'll milk her right out in the pasture because I don't have to separate her calf right yet. Maybell, on the other hand, with Steora taking all of her milk, I've got to have a way to separate calf from cow. And right now I do that by bringing her down and putting her in the barn. Really, I should just wean Steora and take her somewhere and get a new calf to put on Maybell for the remainder of her lactation. Try to find a steer calf that I can, you know, gain a little bit of beef for next year. But that's what's happening today. Earlier I was working on the chicken brooder. It's actually running right now. Stupid sun, I keep forgetting about that. It's running right now, coming up to temp. I want to see how it's going to do overnight tonight. Holding temp to depend on if I'm going to put insulation on the roof or not. Yeah, baby rabbits they're doing good. They're getting big. Baby ducks are getting big. They're doing good. I've still got all of them. Piglets, we just castrated the last 2 that we bought today. Actually just a few minutes ago we did that, but Danae had to get to work. So we didn't get any of that on film. We have the other one out, or coming out of when we did our batch that was born here. So yeah, got a ton of stuff. Got animals to move. I got to get these pigs out on pasture. The nice thing about the way I pasture the pigs is, like, I don't rotate them frequently just because I don't have a ton of room, and I don't have a huge herds of pigs, and I've got pretty good chunks of pasture that I'm keeping them in. So I'm hoping this section, I mean, this is a big section. This is as big as what I used last year for the 7 that I had last year. So I'm going to split this into 2 pastures like I did on that side, and get them out in the first one. The first one's going to be a little bit smaller pasture, more of a training, letting them get used to the area. Once they get that rooted up and tore down, I'm going to move them down to the next section, and hopefully that will last them until I'm hoping to have them butchered by October, before deer season. But if that doesn't work out, they will end up waiting until after deer season. The bigger ones are growing really well, so it might be a split thing where I butcher some before and the rest after. Not a big deal. Just deer season gets pretty busy for me, so I try not to do other stuff during deer season. I like to get out myself a little bit. So yeah, kind of just give you guys an update of what's going on for the day. When I do chores later, I'll pop back on and show you guys the baby rabbits. Stick a little clip of the baby ducks that I got in here. And the piglets, just kind of the day-to-day routine that I'm going through right now. Little ducks are doing good, still have all 6. You can see the 2 in the front there are most likely pure rowan, and the 4 in the back, you see how they're more black and white, they don't have that stripe on their eye. They're going to be rowan pekin crosses. So I'm glad I finally got a little bit of a video clip of them. Doing well. Have another rowan in the barn sitting on eggs, and I think I have a pekin hen that's getting ready to sit. So we'll see how that goes. All right, everyone. It's afternoon. I got a little bit more of that fence done. I had to run and get my weekly load of feed and a few other things from the hardware. Right now we're feeding pigs, and we're taking care of chickens and rabbits. The big pigs are over there eating right now. Piglets are eating. The last 2 boar piglets aren't feeling so hot right now. They got castrated, like I said earlier today, so they're having a moment. come in the coop here, see what we get for eggs. Usually it's 4 or 5 a day. A little bit harder to, sometimes 3, sometimes we'll get 6, but that's pretty rare. I'd like to get some more hens added on. I just seen an ad at the feed store when I was there. Someone's selling some 18-week-old production reds, and they got some 3-month-old leghorns and brown leghorns and Jersey Giants, so I might contact him and pick up another half a dozen hens. Yep, farm fresh eggs. You are a pretty rooster. So these white hens are amber lynx, for anybody that hasn't seen previous posts. And the red hens, those are Freedom Ranger color yields. Those are Freedom Ranger color yields from last year, I say back. I just wanted to try them out. I've had Freedom Ranger hens before, not the color yield, the regular variety. Had them before, so I figured I'd try them. They've gotten a little too big. There's a couple hens that are having issues with their legs, but getting out and exercising, I'm sure, is helping. But yeah, go down here and take a peek at these baby rabbits. Let you guys see how big they've gotten the last couple weeks. Hey, Mama. We don't want to see your fat head. We want to see babies. Yeah, they're growing good. So we're gonna check out all of our rabbits and get these chores done. We have yet to butcher the extra ones, but it is what it is. Get them done when we have time. Here, you get the rest of the rabbits back on their water bottles. Here you go, Mama. Alright guys, we're trying something completely different this afternoon. Instead of bringing Maybell down to the barn and holding her overnight for milking in the morning, Stiora got herself on the other side of the fence today and pretty much kept herself away. Because the fence is hot and she didn't want to get shocked again. So since she's been separated all day, I'm going to milk Maybell this afternoon. She's not used to being milked in the afternoon. We'll see how it goes. She's pretty calm cow. Come on, Maybell. And put them right back out together. Save me from having to milk before church tomorrow. And yeah. So yeah. I did give her a shot of oxytocin today. So she'll let down, milks faster. She will hold her milk back like crazy if I don't do it, which I don't do it every day, just depends on how much milk I'm going to need. But I do give her about a half cc. I don't want to give her any more than that. I only try to do it a couple times a week at the most, but I do like getting that full milk let down a couple times a week. Just gives me a peace of mind. So far I haven't had any major issues with this cow. No mastitis, no nothing like that. She got that acidosis the one time, I think, from the grain. She's bounced back well from that. And but other than that, Stiora keeps her cleaned out completely. So I don't worry about mastitis and stuff. I don't after dip these cows because their calves are on them as soon as I'm done milking.
I would do a different milking routine if I wasn't calf sharing. Thank you for that. Still got hard poop on her tail. Hopefully that comes off these cows soon. Sucks when you get hit in the head like that while milking. But yeah, I wanted to try this out. Figured, heck, watch Justin Rhodes do it a lot. See how this would work. And it just happened to work in my favor that Steora separated herself out today. I wasn't sure how that was going to work. But they shared a fence line and they were fine. So you notice I squirted, well, you might have not been able to see, but the first couple squirts out of each teat, I squirted on the ground. Just gets that little plug out of the end of it. Usually that's the highest amount of bacteria in the milk is those first couple squirts. So I always do that. I'm milking into an open pail. It's kind of a pain in the wintertime when they're all muddy and poopy. Because it is very hard to get them clean. But right now, I'll get a few hair particles and a little bit of debris in there. It's kind of hard not to. I've considered milking through cheesecloth, but it's one more thing I've got to clean up time. And right now, I don't have a ton of time on my hands, working full time and milking 2 cows now and taking care of all these animals. I've got meat birds coming in a couple weeks, so I'll be out taking care of them every morning and night. And when they get out in pasture, I'll be moving pens morning and night. So she stands pretty good until she runs out of grain. Then she just kind of wanders around because she gets bored, but I tied her up today. I wasn't sure how she'd do out here in the pasture. I'm going to put Steora right back in with her. I probably won't milk tomorrow, not her. I've been milking Lady twice a day because Sparky's not big enough to take all of her milk. She's not producing a ton yet, but she's not out on pasture either. I fenced in my front yard to give her a little bit of grass a couple hours a day. But I plan on, actually the field that I'm in right now, when I move the beef cows down to my neighbor's lower pasture, I have to have a solar charger down there. I'm going to put Maybell, Steora, Sparky, and Lady in this pasture here and down by the pigs and let them graze that while the beef cows are down below. It's a little bit harder to walk the cow that far. She's going to be quite a ways away. And then trying to keep Chores, and it's right behind their house kind of, and I don't want her bellering all night long out there because she's separated. So yeah, this is actually working out quite well. This one front quarter produces a ton more milk than the rest. Don't know why, it's just always been like that. And I noticed since she's been on grass this week, her milk's a lot more yellow in color. I haven't even tried tasting it this week because I was finishing off my jar from last Sunday. Finished that off this morning. So after the pigs have been getting a ton of milk because we haven't tried Lady's milk yet because we did give her some antibiotics, but we're at the end of that stint, so I'm considering saving her milk tomorrow afternoon and giving it a try. I'm interested to see what it tastes like. Like I said, she's not producing a ton yet, but she still hasn't come into her full potential. Going early on her calving and the issues that she's had, get her out on this good grass, I think she'll take right off for me. But that's it. Got about 2 gallons, a little bit more than 2 gallons today. Hold on there. All right, come on. Well, that worked out much better than I was expecting. I know she's a great cow, and I was figuring she'd do okay with it, but
I always expect the worst case scenario. Just try to be prepared. You know, you're never going to be fully prepared for everything, but I try to think things through when I'm trying something new and how the animals are going to react. And you know, these animals, friggin', you just never know with them. You know, Stiora and Maybell are great cows, but while I was walking Maybell up here, she got a stick that she tripped on and she flipped out. So, you know, she just jerked around a little bit. She didn't hurt nothing. With little things like that, you just never know. I'm walking back down here. I'm gonna try getting Stiora back in with these other cows so she can nurse and get on the better pasture. She's been on the one they've already chewed down all day, which she's not starving by any means. Damn calf eats me out of house and home. She's a tank. So all these girls are happy to be on pasture. Bertha's bagging up like she literally can go any day. Red looks like she's starting to bag up a little bit. Doug's starting to clean up. He's looking good. Ace and Clarabelle and Harley, they're doing well too. Come on, Stiora. Come on, Stiora. Stiora, come on. Come on, girl. Come on, Stiora. Come on. Yeah, got that bottom, the very bottom strand strung across there. Needs a couple tensioners and that one will be done. Tomorrow I'm planning on getting the second strand up here, and I'm kind of hoping to get the new fence line started for these piglets. I'd really like to get that up and going, because as soon as the 4 that are sold leave, I'm going to build a laneway and get these piglets moved out here. So yeah, if you guys could like, comment, subscribe, share. Like always, we appreciate the viewers that we have, and hope to see you on the next one.